Right, let's continue very fast. Now, please, wherever you are, don't get distracted, else you get totally confused here. Even main computing students get confused. Please. Okay, including master students, they get confused. Please, kindly pay attention to whatever we are coming to do, the calculations. Now, please mute your mics, then we start. Okay, now understand it. In computing, we use numbers called zeros and ones. Perfect. In IP addressing, we use these zeros and ones. The IP addresses you've been seeing around, network IP address, your device IP address, they are these zeros and ones that has been converted to those. So whenever you see an IP address, you can actually convert it to zeros and ones. Or whenever you see zeros and ones, you can actually convert it to an IP address. Whenever you see an IP address, you should be able to say this falls under class A, this falls under class B. And so this is its subnet. Okay, now we are taking one for example. IP addresses comprise of 4 octets, that 4 components. We have first octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. Now, each octet contains 8-digit numbers. Each octet contains 8-digit numbers. These numbers are strictly zeros and ones. Zeros and ones. Okay, now we are coming to work how to get our IP address from these zeros and ones. Any questions so far? Okay, very good. Let's continue.
So for me, I'm extra lost. I'm extra lost. I came in not long ago.
Okay. Let me start. Please take note. In computing, we use zeros and ones. Now, these zeros and ones, those are responsible in your room. The switch on your room, it's working with zeros and ones. Everything you do, the switch on your laptop is working with zeros and one. The one means on, the zero means off. I'm teaching you pure computing here. Okay. Now, whenever you want something to start, it means 1. Whenever you want it to stop, it means 0. Zeros and ones. In IP addressing, in networking in general, we use zeros and ones. And in networking, we use IP addresses. That's unique numbers assigned to each of the hosts. Okay. Now, these unique numbers are formed from these zeros and ones. These IP addresses are formed from these zeros and ones. Okay, now the IP address is divided into 4 octets. Now see an IP address here. You can see it divided into 4. 158.80.164.3. So it divided into 4 octets. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 octets, each octet, when it comes to pure computing or when you divide it, it's zeros and ones. So this 3 you are seeing, it falls under one of these octets and it has its zeros and ones. This 164, it falls under one of these octets and it has zeros and ones. This 80 you are seeing falls under one of the octets and it has its zeros and ones. And this 158 you are seeing falls under one of these 4 octets and it has its zeros and ones. Any question?
Well understood, sir.
Okay, let's move on. Now, the octets are divided into first, second, third, and fourth octets. You see this IP address there. We have 158.80.164.3. They are the 4 octets. The first 158 is the first octet. The second one is the second octet. The third one is the third octet. And the last one is the fourth octet.
Sir, please, what then is the octet?
Come again.
What then is the octet?
The octets, they are actually, let me say, the division in IP addresses. So they represent the zeros and ones in the IP addressing. So it's the further division of this to the binary, that's the zeros and ones.
And
Yes, someone is talking.
sir,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
And even I think the octet is gotten from the word octagon, and octagon has 4 shapes. And now say
You said yes, yes. Okay. CJ, do you have any question? All right, let's continue. Okay, now in octet, the smallest possible value of an octet is 0. And you see, because we are dealing with zeros and ones, in fact the smaller will be 0 and the higher will be 1. Now let's move straight. We have our first octet here. How was it able for this 10018, no, 1001110, how was it able to form 158? How did it give us 158? That's what we are coming to do right now. Okay, please take your pencil and your pen, write these down. 1001110, write them down, separate them. Okay, now I'm using, I have let me come, I have an account with, let me see if I can show. I want to show working. Can you see my whiteboard?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have 1. I have 0. Please write it 0. Then I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then I have 0. Okay, I want you to write this. Now we are coming to derive how we got the 5158 from this. We will represent, each number has its representation. So I told you it starts from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 28. It always starts from the right. Okay, I don't know where you're right. Okay, my right is the 0. So wherever you are, your right is the 0. It starts from the bottom part. From the bottom, this one, 0. So I will start writing my numbers on it. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Write your numbers on them. 32, 64, then 128. 1, 1, 2, 8. Now, this should also tell you how these pen drives, these drives are given sizes. So you can see a pen drive, you see 1 gig, you go to 2 gig, 4 gig, 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64, 128. These are computing numbers. That's why those drives, they have these.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Please,
Yes.
can you come again with what you were explaining?
Okay. I said these numbers, these are computing numbers. That's why in the various pen drives, hard disk drive, you see it starts with 1 gig, moves to 2 gig. It doesn't move to 3 gig. It moves to 2 gig. Then from 2 gig, it moves to 4 gig. It moves to 8 gig, not 6 gig or 5 gig. Then it moves to 16 gig, 32 gig, 64 gig, 128. Then it goes to 256. So in that order, they are computing orders. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now we are coming to calculate this. This is our first octet. And in our first octet, our total number we got was 158. We should get 158 from this. Now write your equal to sign. Okay. Now, note that when I was starting, I told you a 0 means off, 1 means on. So here we are taking all the on. Okay, let's start. So every on we are going to take here. So here we are starting from here. We have on here, so we write 128 plus, we have 16 plus, we have 8 plus, we have 4 plus, then we have 2. So yeah, let's calculate it. So 1, 2.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, please, why didn't you add the 1?
Okay, we didn't add
Please,
the
you didn't add the 1.
yes, because a 1 is an off, is a 0, 0, 0. We didn't add the zeros.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So in total, you are supposed to get the 158. You didn't get 158, means there is a problem with your. Yes. Okay, I'll do that. Now,
Yeah. Hello, sir, please, another question.
okay.
I was once told that the higher the megabyte or the gigabyte of your drive, the higher the capacity of maybe encountering a problem. Is it true?
Okay, that one, you are leaving us to digital electronics. Let's finish this, right? Before you confuse someone else.
All right, sure.
Okay, that one, those pen drives, those hard disks, they are in digital electronics. In digital is under computing too. In digital electronics, that's where you are going to draw the architecture of a whole machine, a whole motherboard. That motherboard should work. Okay, let's finish this. Now, I'm going over again. Every IP address you see is divided into 4 octets. Each of the octets contains 8 digit numbers. The largest among these digit number is 1, and the lowest or the smallest is 0. Now, when you are being given a binary of this octet, you should be able to calculate the IP address being given to you. Here, we took the first octet of an IP address, then we calculated the first octet, that's 10011110. We were able to get the 150. It means we are on the right track. Any question before we move on? Okay. Now let's move to the second one. The second one. Okay. Now we are moving to the second octet. The second octet. So let's go and calculate the second octet. Please calculate the second octet for me. So the second octet is 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. The rest are zeros. So 0 0 0 then 0. Please calculate this and give me the answer. 2 minutes.
Say
Yes.
80.
80. Who else? Who else got 80? Anyone with another number? Edgar got 80. Godwin got 80. Who else? Please try your hands. Don't just watch it. You will need this. Okay. Please, how do you go about it? I just joined. Oh, mercy. Sorry about that. I'll go over for you. Okay, Godson. Hey, Roxanne, what do you get? 80. Okay. Anyone with a different number? Okay. Okay, Jude also got 80. Okay, now, Mercy, please look here. Now, we are calculating an IP address from the binary. An IP address from the binaries. Whenever you are being given binary, you should be able to deduct or detect your IP address. Now, after this study, after this calculation, I'll give you binaries for you to generate an IP address for me. Now, this is how you can generate a portion of an IP address. This one, we've taken the second octet. Oh, Mercy, before that, were you here from the beginning? before I even start from this point? Is it that you were here from the beginning and you are lost, or you just joined, you are new? Oh, very new. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, now this is it. Please take a pencil and your pen and your book. Today's class is all about calculation, how to calculate an IP address. Now, every IP address is derived from a binary. That's the binary I'm seeing on my screen, ones and zeros. In computing, everything in computing is composed of ones and zeros. Even the coding you code, they are converted to ones and zeros before the machine can read. The switch you use, the car you spark, the phone you switch on, everything you use that deals with on and off, it's ones and zeros. Take note of that. The 1 means on, the 0 means off. So even the electrician, when connecting the device, or when the electrician connecting the wires to your switch, the person knows that this one is on, this one is off, this one is 1, this one is 0. It's ones and zeros. Okay, now the same in networking. Whenever a network expert comes to configure your network or building a network for you, he uses ones and zeros to assign IP addresses to your various machines. The machine you are using has an IP address, and that IP address has its ones and zeros. It has its binaries that have been converted to these ones, to this IP address. You can just read 158 dot this dot that. Okay, now how do we calculate binaries to get our IP address? That's what we are doing today. Okay, you first write your binaries down. These binaries or these IP addresses, they are grouped into 4 components. 1, first octet, second octet, third octet, and a fourth octet. Each of these octets contains 8-digit numbers. Each of these octets contains 8-digit numbers, of which these 8-digit numbers, the highest of these digit numbers is 1, and the smallest is 0. Mercy, do you understand up to this point? Right, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Now, we are going to convert 1 octet here. We've taken a second octet of an IP address to actually see the actual number of that portion of the IP address. We've been given the binary to get the actual figure of that IP address. Those here in the hacking class, you will be dealing with binaries, because you sometimes, when you try to exploit a company, you will only see their binaries. You will need to convert these binaries to a real number IP address. You will need to do these calculations. Okay, let's move on. So we will just assign. Yes.
So sorry,
Okay.
with what you just said, are we going to convert the IP address to the binary, or the binary to the IP address, as in the hacking aspect?
Binary,
Because I didn't get it.
binary to IP address.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yes, some companies, they've decoded the IP address to binary, since they know some people can't calculate this. You hack them, or you try to exploit them, and you are going to see these numbers. You will not see the usual 128.58. No, they've decoded to this level. There's a machine language level. So you have to convert this to your high language, the human level. So as a hacker, you need to understand how to calculate this. And even as a network expert, you need to understand, whenever you encounter a problem, you are there's a problem with a network. You go there and they have just their binary. You will need the IP address to solve that issue. That's you need to convert this to the real number representing. Okay. Now, when you get your 8-digit number, starting from the last number, me from here is on my right. So this number, starting from this number, you will first assign numbers to them. So these are the numbers: 1, 2. You move on to 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, then 1, 2, 8. Someone is talking. Why this numbering? Okay. Now, this is how do I say this? This is how we number in converting binaries to decimals. Converting binary, the zeros and ones are in binaries. We want to turn them to decimal numbers. The daily numbers we use are decimal numbers. These are computer language. For you to convert them to the human level, to the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you need to do this numbering. So each of these digits in this octet represents one of them. So the first one, that's the bottom one, represents 1. It represents 2. The next one 4. Irrespective of whether it is 1 or 0, you just start from your right to your left. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Do you understand? Mercy.
And then, sir,
Yes, please.
please, I'd like to share a little bit. It's in the form, like, they taught us this thing, luckily last semester, under computing, introduction to computing. So, as I was doing my research, it's in the form of like binary to the base 2. How we solve binary base 2.
Okay.
So when it comes to the computing aspects, this is how. So this is binary to. So when doing binaries, the first digit we do it. What do you call? Um, I don't know. The equation is not here. Like I could have explained with the equations. There exponent 1, then 2, then 3. Then later you calculate and you come and get the 1, 2, 8, 4. That's what I did to it, so that she knows that 20, the 128, the 64, the 32, the 60, how we got them.
Okay. So the equation is like this: 2 raised to the power n. This is how the equation is. So 2 raised to the power 1. Oh, our time is running. Let me see. Okay. This thing. We have 10 minutes to end and rejoin again. Okay, so this is the actual equation. If you say 2 raised to the power 1, meaning 2. You say 2 raised to the power 2, meaning 4. 2 raised to the power 3, you see 8. Then it keeps on going. So this is the equation Gode is talking about.
So it starts with 2 raised to the power n minus 1.
N minus 1. Okay.
So that you can get the 0. You see the 0 with the 1.
The 0, yes. The 0, the 1. Okay.
So then once you go, then it reduces.
Mercy, do you understand it right now? Right, let's move on. I've made this dirty. Okay, let me undo. These people, they don't have eraser words. Okay. Now from here, so wherever 1 is, then you pick it. Where there is a 0, don't pick it. So here there is a 1, so you just write your 64 plus, here there is a 1, so 16. Next time I won't use this people's whiteboard. Okay, then you combine this, you sum up these. The number you are going to get, it is that representative for that particular portion of the IP address. Please, any question? Do you understand it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go. Let's clean it. Please take this. Do this for me. These people, how do we even clear this? They are clear on my drawings. Okay. Now please convert this number for me. Write it. 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. That's the third octet. Please convert it for me right now. 1 0 1 0 0 1 0.
One says 4.
Come again.
1 says 4.
Anyone with a different answer, please. Or anyone who didn't get 164. Okay. Now let's move on. Take another one for me. 0 0 0 0 0 0. The zeros are 6, then 1 1. Please convert it for me. The zeros are 6, then 1 1. The zeros, someone is talking. The zeros are 6. Okay.
6. 3.
3. Okay. Anyone with a different 6. Okay. Anyone with a different answer?
6.
Okay, we have 6. Anyone with a different answer? We have 2 6 1 3. Anyone with a different?
3.
Yes.
3.
3. Okay, we have 2 people saying 3, 2 people saying 6. Anyone with a different answer? 2 people are saying 3, 2 people are saying 6. The number is 0 0 0 0 0 0. The zeros are 6 and 1 1.
Hello, sir. Please. Hello.
Yes.
Please, we kindly need this session after the class. Some of us we are at work. That's why contribution is low.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to give you a lot of work. Now, the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to give you binaries. You convert all of them to an IP address, then you submit it to me. Any question, please? Okay. So now you convert them to an IP address, then state the class they falls under. So you convert all what I'm going to give to you to an IP address. You state each class the IP address falls under. Each class, you state it. Then you state each subnet of that particular IP address for me. Okay, so I'll send this assignment in your Slack channel, then in your WhatsApp group too. Thank you very much for joining this class. Make sure you set up your GM3 software. I'll also send you a different link too. Then Sunday evening, we will start our practicals. Thank you very much for joining. I'll send you the videos too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, I was the guy who was having a problem with the software. But I heard you saying that you send us a different link.
Yes, I'll send you guys a different link.
Okay, sure. So please will you send it today or when?
Yes, today.
Okay. Thank you. So that if I have any problem, I can reach. I hope I can test you personally.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. You're welcome.